Fade in.
No, God!
Fade in. Fade in. Fade in. Fade in. Fade in.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I am the type of Star Wars fan that doesn't even have a favorite movie. I just want to live in the universe of Star Wars continually, in perpetuity, forever. So when people are like, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? I'm like, there is no Star Wars movie. There is only Star Wars.
I'm gonna kill myself! I'm going to kill myself, and it's your fault!
The sequel movies were just the worst garbage ever. Last Jedi was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. I wanted to leave the theater, but I was like, I can't. It's Star Wars. You know, I need to watch it. But man, was that bad.
I think that the thing that George never did was maintain the status quo. And I think that that's really important because...
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you!
When I read 8, I told Ryan, I fundamentally disagree with virtually everything you've decided about my character.
Who is this guy? How did the most optimistic, hopeful character in the galaxy turn into this hermit who says it's time for the Jedi to end? I read that and I said, what? I mean, that's not what a Jedi does. I mean, a Jedi is optimistic. A Jedi has tenacity. He never gives up. He doesn't secrete himself on an island. But you'll.
What's the best kind of firework to buy?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Where are your parents? Kid's sketchy. Back to you guys.
So they wanted us to keep going. That Star Wars girl said, keep going. Okay, so
Wait, what are we talking about?
I figured out how to monetize social justice warriors.
I have no love for He-Man.
I know, but I have no love for He-Man either, but he's got a place in the world in a comic book story.
When I was a kid, I'd watch He-Man and Masters of the Universe when I got home from school. From 1981 to 82, it was a rich...
I'm kind of retarded.
To all of our Star Wars fans in China.
All right, there we go. It happened. Sorry, everyone. We're late. Hello, welcome to the live stream, the Matriarchy live stream that almost didn't happen, or maybe it would have, but I don't know what's going on today. It's crazy day.
Well, my fault. It's 100% my fault. So
no, it's not. It's.
Oh, it definitely is. It definitely is, and you're just picking up the pieces for me very, 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 very lovingly. Yeah, no, I was well informed that you were not supposed to be around today, and I just blindly went forward, being like, "I love my friends. You have to be here." So there we are.
Well, for those that don't know, it's really hard to get a hair colorist, stylist person and appointments right now. So because they're all booked. So
Dude, you're telling me my hairstylist is still in France?
Oh, Jesus. Well. I had an appointment and she's like, I can only do Wednesday. And then my next appointment is in December. And I was like, all right. But we scheduled this 2 or 3 weeks ago. And so, cause you have to book them at least a month in advance. And so I let Jessi know, I was like, hey, I'm not going to be here. So you're going to have to host 2 weeks in a row. I hope you don't mind. And then Jessi kind of forgot, which is fine. I thought it was going to take 10 hours. It only took 3. So I was able to make it and host on my week, which is perfect.
Yay.
But yeah, it's the Rogue is back. I am getting photo shoots start next week. So I'm going to be in a lot of photo shoots next week for the calendar.
Well, that is going to be for
Jessi,
I saw your Alita picture.
My sword?
Oh my God. That was cool.
Let me make it bigger. Okay, so I ordered this for my Alita cosplay, and people were like, is it balanced? And I'm like, I don't know. I'll ask Jessi. How do I do this?
The way to find if it's balanced. Now, something that big, you'll probably need at least 2 fingers on it.
That's what she said.
So the balance point should be, if it is a perfectly balanced blade, the balance point should be right where the blade meets the hilt.
It's underneath it. So let me see. Oh, fucking, it's not balanced.
It's not. So you got to move it out. So now how many inches? Now, if the balance point, now once you get it, if you're strong, if it's not too heavy, you should be able to do it on one finger right on the balance point too.
It's really fucking heavy.
So there you go. Okay. So that, based on the length of the blade, that's that for what it is, for a big, ugly, awkward prop blade that's based on not a real weapon, that's actually a pretty good balance point. Like it
is so cool.
A fencing saber, you'll usually end up getting 3 to 4 inches from the hilt, depending on how you or from the cuissard, depending on how you've constructed it. But yeah, that for what that is, that's actually really impressively balanced for what that is.
It is just an Alita prop blade. It's not sharp. I mean, I could kill someone. It's just I'd have to hack at them. Like if there was a zombie and I really needed to kill it, I think I could find a way. I mean, this isn't that sharp, but I mean, I could still
stick it through their decrepit eyeball and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, it's perfect for the cosplay. But I was like, Jessi will like the sword.
I do. It's shiny.
It's so shiny and it's so pretty. Look at the details. I mean, it's all smudged from my fingers, but it's like, it's got really nice engraving. It looks very like cyberpunk-esque.
It's cool because there's I really appreciate it because there's like artistry to it as a true, and again, like having that balance point, it shows that there's like actually artistry to it based on how you would construct a good sword, but it also has like its own unique in-universe look to it. That was what was great. I thought that's where Alita really succeeded, is it had a lot of familiar elements to it, things that people could easily recognize and find accessible, while still having its own personality, its own style.
I know.
So rare today.
I really liked that movie. I mean, I don't really know too much about the anime or the manga, but that movie made me want to. Did you watched it, right?
I did. It made me want to know more about that universe and dive into it because and I mean, are they going to do a sequel? Because I really want a sequel.
I really want a sequel too.
Because I
had I had somebody from the movie on my channel. His name is Todd Junker. Like Junker is the name of his, it's Junker Designs. I'm sure that's not his real last name. He was actually on the second episode I ever did of Force Talks. He did the costumes for Alita and he was in it. He was one of the people that were in that.
That's awesome.
That game. Cause he said that he looked at the cast list and there was no one cast for this one character. He's like, can I do it? And they're like, yeah, sure.
Oh, that's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah. No, but the jacket that Hugo wears, like that brown leather jacket or black, that's his. Like he made that jacket and he has a whole company where he makes like leather jackets and he's good friends with Robert Rodriguez.
That is awesome.
Yeah, he's cool.
I really did enjoy that. It made you care. It made you give a shit about these characters. It made you give a shit about their world. It made you give a shit about the stakes of the world. It made you want, to fight for them, fight with them. You actually cared.
Well, you know what was weird? When they go and look where like the spaceship, the crashed Mars spaceship that's in the lake, when they go through the trees, I'm like, I would live there. Like I would just build my house right fucking there and not live in the disgusting city and have like a little house with the beautiful waterfalls and all that. Why the fuck would you want to go live in that city, that cloud floating city that probably has no space? It's probably like living in Tokyo or San Francisco where you get like a box apartment.
Yeah.
That was one thing that I didn't understand. I'm like, you guys live in this beautiful world and you guys are living in the ugly city, fantasizing about the cramped city above you.
Exactly. Why not just go live in the freaking I would rather live in a little lean-to I made out of sticks and leaves than in that nasty ass city. I'm just saying.
I know. I didn't get it, but I liked that movie a lot. I thought it was cute. Some people, they didn't like the love aspect. I'm like, it had everything that I guess I would like as a girl. It's like you have the cute boy, you have the little love story, but then she's got everything going on with her. You have the father and daughter whole situation. You have her trying to find out about her past and like fighting. And there's the bad guy. It was fun. I liked everything about it.
Oh yeah, and I just think that no matter what, no matter what story you're telling, if it involves like teenagers, young adults, people of that age. Unless it is so far removed from humanity, it's so sci-fi, fantasy, whatever, that these aren't really human anymore, it doesn't make sense not to have some kind of romance. We were all once 13 to 21-year-olds. Some of you maybe still are. What happens when you hit puberty? Most of us, not all of us, the vast majority of us, want to fuck everything forever. We have a crush on every boy. Every guy wants to bang every chick. And that is how we are for years. All humans, your sexual fucking awakening, puberty, that's what happens. So it just doesn't make sense to me when you try to like, even in an action picture, even something, if it's that's the age group that you're working with and there are unisex people, like we were all that age once. If you were in a group of people and there were only a finite number of boys, you eventually had a crush on one of them. It was just like, if you were at that age, it's just how hormones worked. And so like, it just doesn't make sense to me when people want to make properties about, you know, like, oh, fun, funky new groups of friends where they're not all fucking. Like, no, it's just, let's stop trying to subvert things so often and just accept the realities. Yeah, people like to fuck, and so let them fuck. Like, that's part of what has always sold in entertainment.
Well, see, that's the one part about that story that I didn't understand. I'm like, so are they fully functioning robot? Like the one really handsome guy from Game of Thrones. My mother was so pissed when they recast him. She's like, what happened to the handsome guy?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, they recast him with the ugly guy.
Yeah.
But that guy, the one where it's like, it's literally just his face and he's got like the Aztec calendar on his back. And I'm like, he's walking around, he's all cybernetic. I'm like, you can't have sex anymore.
Yeah, that's that. Like, what I wonder, that's another part of that world that I'd love to like dive into too, is that like, are those decisions, like, do people, that would be such a fun like side story in that world, as somebody who was like so hyper focused on like getting all these cybernetic enhancements for their career or whatever it was they did, and they did all that and then realized it made it impossible for them to have intimacy, and then they finally got to the point in their life where they wanted that desperately and had, you know, locked themselves out of it. That would be a great story to tell.
Well, it's like with Hugo when he was dying, and then she just takes his head and she's gonna go attach his head to the robot. I'm like, well, I wasn't sure if you guys could do anything before, but now I don't think that robot had anything.
Yeah.
But what was it? Somebody said something about did I say something about Dave Chappelle? Oh, look at this shirt I got in Nashville, Jessi. You'll like it. May the music be with Nashville, Tennessee.
That is cool.
This is a kid's shirt, but I was like, I need this, and they didn't have any adult t-shirts of it. I was like, why is this only for kids? But I was like, all right, I'm buying a Star Wars Nashville t-shirt.
It will fit you better anyway, so there
you go. I know the adult one would have been long, but I could have slept in it, you know.
I can still wear a youth large. Well, I can again now that I've kind of lost my COVID weight. So
this is a youth small.
That I could not fit into, but different size people.
I asked them if they had an extra small because it is like a little like loose down here, and they're like, "You'll be fine," and I'm like, "But it's gonna be."
Horrific transition. Speaking of fitting into youths, I just found out today that a fencing coach got arrested for sexually assaulting a 16-year-old girl multiple times.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it's a guy like, so this is the thing with the fencing world, right? Whenever I'm like a fencing person, you know, imagine like you're an NFL fan and you know all the players and all of the coaches and all of this and that. So when a player, even not your team, when you hear like, oh my God, that person, something happened, like, you know who they are, right? Fencing, it's beyond that. It's like,
Hold on, look at this hair I just pulled out of my eyeball.
Ew.
Can you see how long that is?
That's weird.
I was like, my eye is itching. This hair was just in my eyeball.
Oh God. I've had stuff like that. It's so weird. Ugh. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's like a guy I've known like for years, just from the national circuit. He's a coach, you know, I've refereed out there. So always had a really great relationship. Some coaches can be douchebags to the referees. He's always been like really cool to the referees. I've always got along with them. I've always felt he had like, a really good head on his shoulders about coaching. He always seemed to have a great relationship with the students. I guess too good of a relationship in some instances. Yeah. It's just like, what the actual fuck? Why?
Was it? Well, I mean, is it a student? Like, do you think that it's real, or do you think it's like they were in a what is the word for it? I'm blanking on it.
Consensual.
Yeah, consensual
relationship. So yeah, one of the things too about fencing, which like outside of, you know, however the law deals with it, one of the things with U.S. fencing, it's like per safe sport, per sexual harassment. It's the case in a lot of sports. You're considered as a student to be in an your coach has an unfair amount of influence over you, and so it's considered an inappropriate relationship. And actually, under the law, in a lot of cases like that, a coach-student relationship can be considered wildly inappropriate. So even where the law would protect them via age. But this was something too where like it sounded really fucked up. It sounded like maybe there was a relationship that maybe at one point was consensual, and then he did actually like assault her several times per her accusation, but then sent an email to them being like, I'm sorry, I'm going to sell my club. And like, he basically admitted to it. He was like, you'll never have to worry about me again. I'm going to sell my club and move away and blah, blah, blah. And then, so the other charge he's being charged with is like falsely swearing. Cause I guess there was some other deposition maybe involved with their school or something about this. And he lied about what happened, something there. And then these emails proved that he lied. So it's like, it's a really weird, gross, fucked up one. Cause like we've had those before. We've had those, you know, coach gets too close to their student. I mean, fuck, I was one of those. When I was 18, my coach decided to get drunk and tell me he was in love with me. It's a very confusing time for me. But it's just like, I don't know. This was just like a really gross, weird one where like he was at some point clearly based on these emails realized he had done something really fucking wrong. And now has a lawyer and shit and is saying, I never did anything. So it's just like, it's just so uncomfortable. It's so gross because it's like you're a total skis. You're not just like I got in over my head. Like you got involved with a 16-year-old girl, and it's not like this guy's like 20-something years old. He's like maybe 40. It's like you got involved with this 16-year-old girl, and then you fucking lie and then you like admitted it, and now you're lying. I don't just. It's like so icky, you know. It's so icky. I'm so unhappy.
Andy McCallum, thank you for the super chat. Did the coach give her a Cosby cocktail first?
That's Cosby cocktails is because of a Mad Lib is now that came up, and it was Cosby cocktails and gentlemen, and now we refer to women on my channel as Cosby cocktails.
Gotcha. Thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna read some of these.
No, he wasn't that nice to her, Andy.
Sounds of Sushi, thank you for the 19.99 super chat. Thank you. You can Rocky Kids tea like no other. Oh, thank you. Black Guard 4, thank you for the super chat. My theory, they save the junk and face brain, but everything else is robotics. However that works, but hey, it's a sci-fi, so it works. Here's the thing with that though, is for men, you need blood flowing there to be able to get it erect. And that was actually a big criticism of Twilight, is that the vampires in Twilight technically can't fuck because their hearts don't beat and they don't have flowing blood. And they're like, well, Edward can't fuck Bella then.
True story.
Here's my thing. It's like, well, I mean, yeah, you could always get like attachments and stuff. Maybe it's kind of like that Ex Machina movie where it's like there's pleasure sensors down there or something. But it didn't look like there was much there, at least when, you know, those couple of robots, you could see that, which I have a hard time believing people will give up sex.
Yeah, I do too.
There's not enough people that are asexual in the world for me to believe that.
I like Blackguard's theory, though, where basically it's a sci-fi universe. So in their magical universe, they've preserved your junk or your ability to use junk or feel sexual pleasure because sci-fi. Because you're right, fucking nobody would nobody. What man? Like Jeff has even joked. He's like, if something ever happened to me where I lost my dick, just kill me. I don't want to live anymore. It's like guys are not going to willingly give up their junk no matter what the cybernetic enhancement they get in return.
Russell Hall, thank you for the super chat. Junkless robots can still bang Demolition Man style. Yeah, that sucks though. Even he was like, fuck this shit. Do not studio, thank you for the super chat. Let us F Graham Nolantana. God damn, stop guys with that. Thank you for the super chat. J Lloyd, thank you for the super chat. Between Dave Chappelle, I think you mean Chappelle, not being silenced, and Grand Theft Auto coming to Switch and the rise of anime, I think the woke are starting to lose ground. I think so too. But we will see. They're not going to give it up easily, but I think people are getting tired of it.
They are. I mean, actually, I think the Eternals is another example that we can talk about too.
I haven't kept up with any of that. Every 5 minutes, I get a new notification saying somebody came out with a video on the Eternals, and I'm like, oh, sweet Jesus.
I haven't kept up with too much of the news, but Jeff was looking at some of the early reviews, and he was talking about how he's reading the ones where it's like it's a 1-star review, and they're ripping the movie apart, and they'll stop to say their little blurb about, yes, but the diversity was so great, and it's so great, we had all this inclusion and blah, 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 but the movie still sucked. You remember around Last Jedi time and Captain Marvel time, any movie that came out, you would read, you know, a review and it would be like, well, this movie's terrible. The plot is awful. The acting sucks. Everything sucks. Everything sucks. But it's super duper woke and the wokeness is on point. So like 10 out of 7. And that's what you would see. So now it's like, okay, people are still going out of their way to virtue signal, but they're not conflating identity politics anymore with quality entertainment. Or at least some people are starting to be able to make that separation. Great sign.
Well, I hope that that continues. I want to get back to a time where it is like, let's just all be honest. Because remember when critics, like the people in Hollywood were afraid of critics. And it's like, oh yeah, that one critic that notoriously hates everything gave me a good review. Like, how many shows are there about like people that are actors, like not like just Broadway, and they're all sitting in like a room reading the reviews? Heck, even in 3 Men and a Baby, 3 Men and a Little Lady, the sequel to that, when she's engaged to the director and he's like reading the reviews in like the back room and they're talking about what it was like for them as actors. They're waiting up all night after the play to read that critic's review, and it's, you know, if you did good, you got a good review. And if you did, you know, what they thought was bad, then you got a bad review. Remember that when that was fun? And now it's like, no, the critics are on their side. It's weird.
It is. It's a very strange landscape. And we're just in a world where information means something different than what it used to. I think is the best way to say it. Like facts, information, what is an opinion? What is a fact anymore? Which is really, it's
opinions are facts. Unless you have the wrong opinions, then they're not facts.
It's upsetting because the thing is, you could actually arrive at the conclusion that there is no such thing as a fact through deep epistemological reasoning. But that's not what we did as a society. We all just decided that facts don't fucking matter and we don't care and we don't need to reason our way through knowing. We just need to feel our way through knowing, the end. Like, we've rejected every way of knowing except for feelings and decided that that's the only way to know things. And it's like, the scary part is if you have a majority of the population that does that, then emotional reasoning becomes your primary way of knowing. It does become your facts. It becomes the episode of The Orville, which I know you haven't seen, but where it's literally the popular opinion determines fact, to the point where if you offend the populace and they vote and they don't buy your apology tour and that you don't get enough votes, you get corrected, you get lobotomized. And the more time that passes, the more accurate the episode becomes, because all it is depicting a world in which the majority opinion is what controls. The majority opinion controls what is true. And that is the fucking world we live in.
Well, that's kind of how it is now. And yeah, I mean, just look at the news, like even with that stuff with Joe Rogan and how he got COVID and then he took I'm not a medical doctor, I'm just talking about things that have happened. YouTube, I'm talking about things that have happened in real life. I'm not talking about COVID. I'm not a medical doctor in any way. Consult your doctor. How Joe Rogan's like, hey, I caught the coof, and then he took whatever it was that was prescribed to him by a doctor that was not the jab, and he got better. But he's a healthy adult who was probably going to survive it anyway. And then on the news, they changed the video and they put like a filter over. Like, that was the thing that I'm like, you guys really put a fucking filter, and then said he was using horse things. And then when you watch his show and he's confronting the doctor, he's like, motherfucker. He's like, humans have been taking this for decades. But you said it's like a horse. You don't remember this?
I remember the horse tranquilizer thing, but there was some where people were actually using a horse drug that was not correct. I remember saying that Joe Rogan had done it. So I did not realize that was all misinformation, though.
No, it is. Well, but here's he had the doctor on from CNN, or that like does everything for CNN, talking about it. And he's like, you're a doctor. You know this. Why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you correct them? And it's like, it kind of is fucked up how like each news article, or, you know, even, well, not even just news articles for like news, like even pop culture news, they like twist everything. Like with everything that was happening with Black Widow, how everyone's covering these stories with all these crazy things that Scarlett Johansson is saying. But then it's like, I went and I watched all of her interviews and I'm like, she doesn't say anything like that. They're baiting her to say these things. But all of the interviews that we don't have access to, that are just written by a person that's writing an article, they're like, she's saying this about men. And I'm like, But she never said a single thing like that. She never said a single woke thing in any interview I watched. Not a single thing. But in all the written interviews, apparently she's saying all this shit. It's like they're twisting the narrative.
There absolutely are. And the sad part is that the anti-woke crowd has become just as rabid and stupid and gullible as the woke crowd. It's hilarious to me too, because it's like the anti-woke crowd starts its narrative on we can't trust the media, they all lie to us, and yet it bases all of its sensationalized reactionary bullshit off of the things the media is telling them. And I'm like, if the media is lying to you, then why are you reacting to them as if the things they're saying are true? Because you're not reacting going, oh my God, I can't believe you're lying. Here's the truth. You're reacting going, oh my God, I can't believe you said this. I can't believe this is true. When you yourself have already gone on record to say, nothing this fucking news source says is fucking true. And I'm just like, that's where I've landed out squarely back in the camp that I'm always in, which is that labels are bad, tribes are bad, aligning yourself to an ideology is bad, especially if within that ideology there is no room for dissent or questioning. If your community does not allow you to question its ideals and its tenets, if your community does not allow you to disagree with its other members, then your community is wrong. It is wrong. It is misdirecting you on purpose to try to hurt you or take something from you. True community, true cooperation, true us actually building a better world together means there has to be room for all different types of people. End of story. It's just...
but with that, I'm just like, that's why it's like, I'd rather just do my own thing. I've noticed that the more I interact and talk to other humans, the more complicated life gets. It's like, I'd rather just stay in my little hole and paint a picture and not worry about anything else that anyone else is doing aside from the people in my little circle. And because somebody was talking about this drama between some YouTubers that I've never heard of. They're like, did you see this person is fighting with this person? And I'm like, no, I don't know who any of those people are. I don't know who the person that's talking about this fight is. I don't know who the people involved in this fight. I don't fucking know. And that's how much it doesn't matter. And I don't fucking care.
Right, dude. I remember months ago, it was somebody came to us and was like, oh, well, you should watch what you're saying about that because that's what that person is saying. And that person disagrees with these people who disagree with those people who disagree with those people who disagree with those people who ultimately, at the end of the day, this is the side the Phantom Menace is on. And we were like, I've never even heard of any of those people and I don't give a shit. We talk about the things that we want to talk about and don't worry about who does and doesn't agree with us. I have said some things that very bad, terrible people that I hate agree with, and there's nothing I can do about it. I've said some things that the trolls that I hate the most disagree with or agree with, and I don't like it because I don't care. I don't want them to agree with me because I don't like anything they have to say. But you know what? That's life. I don't decide. I don't formulate my opinions based on who agrees with them. I formulate my opinions based on what I personally believe is right.
That's all you can do. But right? I mean, even so there's I watch a lot of art YouTube channels naturally, and so there was this one art channel that's got it's got 22 million subscribers and a really big art channel. And I got recommended because he's one of my friends knows the guy whose channel it is. He's like you should check out his channel. He just kind of blew up one day and that's what he does. It's crazy. And I was like, oh, okay. It's really flashy, I'm going to paint 10 iPhones and I'm going to give them away to people, customize these iPhones. And so I'm like, this is more kids content. It's not the kind of content that I like. And so I like this one channel called Nerd Forge. And it's this Norwegian couple and they build things and they just got a new studio. So I love their channel, right? I love watching it. And I anticipate every time they put out a new video. That's my number one, watch channel. I need to watch their content because I love it.
That's awesome.
And I don't know any drama that they're involved in because I don't care. I'm watching their channel and their content because I like them and I like their content a lot.
Exactly. Ooh, and speaking of painting things real quick before I forget, we are organizing, actually Cody, the Bass Man, is going to be doing a channel takeover in December on my stream to run a Christmas charity drive. And we were hoping if you had time to throw in together, if you'd like to do a pre-recorded Bob Ross Joy of Painting style video to include in there. So
I will let you know. I'm kind of backed up.
I figured but we definitely, so also if you can't, create anything new for it, if there's anything you have pre-done or something, we'd love to include you in it in any way we can and also have you there live. but we're just trying to do it. We're not trying to make it more work for people though. So
how about you do this? You tell me exactly, like type me up a message of exactly what you would want and how long you would need it. That way I can mentally plan it out and like figure it out into it.
Brilliant. Sounds perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more details on exactly what you want, the better it'll be for me to figure out how to do it.
I was imagining like what it would be awesome, just like a something really simple. And again, just like it's Christmas, something Christmas related and super quick and super simple. And with a couple of little tips.
I hate Christmas. So you might have to get a little bit more
holiday
detailed.
related.
Like, do you want like a Christmas tree? We'll talk off here.
Yeah. Anyway, we just wanted you to be involved in any way possible because obviously you're important to me.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the art thing. Well, so there was this really big art project that all of these art YouTubers were doing where they take it. This is actually really fun. I've done it before. And so it's where they took a big canvas and one artist started it. I think it was Slew that started it. And so he painted something on and then they ship it to the next, they pick an artist, like a YouTube artist, and then they ship the painting to the next YouTuber. And then that YouTuber's like, hey, I'm part of this project. And then they paint their little section of the canvas. They ship it to the next person, and so on.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. And so Nerdforge was one of the people that got picked for it. And so I watched her video where she's painting it. But then one of the guys that's in it, he's got a really big art channel. His name is Jazza. And so he did this. I usually don't like it when YouTubers do let me expose this one big channel, which was what he was exposing ZHC, which is Zach, or ZCH, whatever the heck his name is. He's the one that the iPhone guy. And so he did this 30-minute video where he was going through all of like Zach's content and saying like how he's kind of ruined the art YouTube, art. Yeah. The art YouTube sphere.
Yeah.
And I watched it all. And I was like, Jazza, I don't like his older videos. I like his newer videos, but I'm like, I see what he meant in it because what is his name? Like I said, it's more kiddie content. So I didn't really like watching the Zach stuff before, but he was talking about how he's like, oh yeah, I was supposed to do collabs with this guy and we would do it. And then he would unlist his streams, but they would be up on everyone else, or the videos would be up on everyone else. So it's just advertising him. And I was like, all you're telling me is that Zach's got amazing grift.
Yeah.
I was like, he just knows how to grift and he knows how to clickbait and he knows how to do everything. But the stuff that like Jazza says in the video, I'm like, dude, I liked you a lot. And now that you did this, I'm like, I see what the frustration is, but I'm waiting for part 2. But the whole time I was watching, I'm like, you guys are just going to do a big collab at the end. Like, I guarantee you, I've been waiting like 3 weeks since this video came out. But it's like, I know it's leading up to, oh yeah, this is why we hate each other. He did this to me and this is how he's like been grifting. And then they're going to get back together at the end and be all happy. I'm like, I just have a feeling that's why this next part of the video is going to go to. I don't know why we're on this topic and I completely lost the point.
I'm into it. I'm like so intrigued by like all this art world drama now though. I'm like, God damn. Like I hear that though, but it's funny because it's like, it's weird how it works, because it's not the first time I've seen this too. Like there's actually a channel that Jeff is very, very friendly with, who's getting a bad rap as being someone who just complains all the time. And the thing is, he's not unjustified with the things that he talks about with, other people getting more attention unjustly and being treated unfairly by YouTube and things like that. And other YouTubers doing him dirty and doing the wrong things and whatever.
Sorry, is this is Jeff or Jeff's friend?
Somebody Jeff knows. Yeah. What is Jeff, a YouTuber Jeff's friendly with. And he just said like people are quickly distancing themselves from him, and even Jeff doesn't want to work with him as much anymore because it's like he's getting his reputation as being a downer. And it's like, I knew a woman in.
Now I want to know, who is it? Put it in the private chat.
He's a really nice guy too. The thing is, he's a really nice guy. He makes great content, but he just gets fixated on the drama and fixated on the negativity. And then he becomes wrong. He then becomes looked at as the guy who's the drama monger, as the guy who, won't let this shit go and blah, blah, I mean, it's the same. It's like another fencing example, because it turns out everybody in the fencing world is a terrible human. They are.
Okay.
Two referees are married to each other, living up in Canada, and then the one referee, Canada, you know, America's that. And one of them cheats with another referee who's also married, whose husband is not related to fencing, but not here. Basically, this woman got screwed. This woman Suzanne got fucked. She got cheated on. She got left very publicly within the fencing world, you know, for another referee, a better referee. Everyone in the fencing world always sides with the better referee. So she was already treated, you know, like the short end of the stick. She was in Canada. She moved from Canada for this guy to Canada for this guy, and Canadian divorce law is no fault. So she got screwed on the divorce. In the process of moving out, he like went there when she wasn't there and left the door open, and one of her cats got out and got killed. So like, it was awful.
God.
Oh God, it was absolutely terrible. This woman got the shortest fucking end of the stick you could possibly get when it comes to a situation like this, and I felt so bad for her. And then she wouldn't fucking shut up about it, to the point where, like, I still think she is obviously the wronged party and the victim here, but it was to the point where, like, she was almost like the new woman was like, stop harassing me and stuff. So it's like, you were 1000% the victim across, no questions asked, no doubt in anyone's mind who was wronged here, whether or not they treated you that way. But the fucking fact that you couldn't let it go, that you basically let your anger, your pain, your negativity overcome you and turn you into that thing. It's like, it just makes you wrong. It makes you the wrong party at a point. It makes you the person that, like, I'm going to get up and walk to the other lunch table because, dear God, Susan, it's been a year and a fucking half. I would like to talk about something other than this guy who broke your heart. Like, please. So.
Jesus. Yeah. Some people just get fixated on stuff and, you know, they can't move on from it. I know too many people like that, I feel.
Yes. Oh my God. On a positive note, congrats, As Your Night Terror. He says he made a live stream, your very first one. Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations. Also, I saw somebody comment in the chat saying that you had an open live stream up.
Oh yeah. So I guess it didn't delete properly at first, because I'd thrown one up initially when you'd said you weren't there, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll throw one up. I'll get ready to do it. And then when you called me, I went and deleted it, but I guess it didn't delete immediately on YouTube. Because I went back into my studio and refreshed it, like, and I went to find it. It's not there. It's gone. It's deleted. But I guess if anybody had clicked on it before it got deleted,
there somehow.
It's in limbo basically. So I think some people got stuck in limbo there. Yeah.
Well, hopefully it fixes itself. But let me.
I think somebody from that's when I was texting earlier, because one of my people was texting. She's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm here." So she, I think, let people know in the chat over there. So
let me. Yeah, if you're interested in all that like art stuff here, I'll send you Jazza's video. I mean, he makes really good videos, but he has like a whole and you don't have to know anything about the art community to follow this, which that's what I like. I like it when people do things the Marvel method, which is like each video is somebody's first video.
Exactly. That's how Jeff talks about it.
Yeah, well, I don't really like there's very few channels that I follow. Like, I have to watch every single thing that they make.
Wow, why did you start playing? I told you not to. My computer's so bad right now.
Like Nerdforge. Nerdforge is the art channel that is like the second she puts out a video, I watch it. Well, I try to watch it actually up on the TV because it's like I like watching it. They're very good. But like Jazza, I like it better when he does sculpting videos. I don't really not like his painting as much. Not that it's like I don't like his painting. It's just I prefer watching the sculpting videos that he puts out. But so this video, it's if you watch it, you'll see what I mean. Because he's like, I'm gonna watch every video this guy has made, because he's like, I can't, speak. He's like, I only have my criticism now of what he's doing now, but I want to see where he started and how he evolved.
Yeah.
So it's like a part 1 of 2, and he said give it 3 to 4 weeks before they put out part 2. So I think part 2 is coming out soon.
Exciting.
But I'm like, I have a feeling they're going to do some kind of collab at the end and like, oh, we're friends still. Yeah. I have a feeling this is all planned.
It's funny you talk about this guy being a grifter, like just good at the grift and whatnot. I think that's why people love to throw that term around and why it makes people so mad. and also mad when they feel like they've been grifted, because like grifting isn't really illegal in most, like you can grift in ways that are illegal, but the act of grifting in and of itself is not a crime.
Well, no, look, McDonald's, every time you see a thing, ba-da-ba-da-da, I'm loving it. That's a grift. Like they have their little tagline, that's their clickbait. Burger King, every single brand has a grift or a clickbait thing. But I think with what he's talking about with Zach, it's that one of his videos that came out that everyone kind of is like mad about. He's like, I customized a $10 million home for my girlfriend. It's like, but dude, you live with your girlfriend. That's
like it's just
it's like, because the picture is like him giving, like, his girlfriend's like this, and there's like a house in the background. He's handing her a key, and it's like, I customized a $10 million house for my girlfriend. It's like, no, you painted one wall in this house that you live in with your girlfriend.
Jesus, that's
So that's what he means.
Oh God, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think I'm not sticking up for the grift. I don't support it anyway. But the thing is, I think that's why it gets under people's skin, because it's like, grifters are people who are not good, but they're simply succeeding by being smarter than you, or by being more clever than you, or nefarious and whatnot. But that's the way it reads. And so people take it very personally when they've been grifted. Understandably so, because it's a shitty thing to do to somebody. But again, it's like, then when you want to come back and complain about it or bitch about it or make a video or this or that, at the end of the day, did the other person do something wrong? Yes. What they did was not trustworthy, was not nice, was not cool. Did they do anything illegal or, technically immoral? That's where it gets a little bit grayer in the grift. And so that's when it's like, it's very difficult, I think, for people to combat those ideals, because it's hard to fight something so slippery and shady, like coming out and calling it out on the nose, because grifters aren't by nature. They're just going to sort of slip back around. And then you just sound like someone who's bitching about, typically what ends up happening is it sounds like you're bitching about somebody, about a grifter, because they basically did something better than you could.
Yeah.
And I think the best, like the only way to combat grifters is to lead by example and accept that, like that's I think where it gets hard though. It's like the grift happens why it happens, because it's faster. It's a faster way to get there, but it's not sustainable over the long haul, because eventually you blow up the perfect grift is the one that you only have to do once and you walk away with the haul that you can retire on. That's what all the fucking heist movies are based on, doing it one time, because the more you do it, it becomes a law of diminishing returns. The more likely it is that somebody has heard of you, somebody knows you, somebody exposes your grift. And the problem, though, is that it's very difficult to combat the grift by leading by example, because it takes fucking longer. It takes so much fucking longer to sell your shit, your brand, your whatever to people by just saying, hey, we're just doing it the right way, and using like the minimal levels of flash, clickbait, whatever, to draw people in while still maintaining the level of honesty. It's like finding that perfect balance, how to pump yourself up.
It's funny because he addresses that in the video.
Yeah.
And he's like, I do it too. He's like, I did this, one of those, actually the sculpting video where he's like, I did this life size like orc from World of Warcraft sculpt, but he's like, but I only did a bust. But the way I said it in the video and in the thumbnails, that I did this life size sculpture, when he's like, it is life size, but it's just a bust. So he's like, I do it too. And my thing with YouTube, it's like, it's like I said, every single video is somebody's first video getting introduced to you. And I think with Zach is that he has, this is just me guessing, he is a good channel for kids to watch, because it's flashy, it's vlog style, it's a cut every other minute. Like in one video, it was supposed to be him painting iPhones with his friend, and then all of a sudden there's a giant cookie and they're eating a giant cookie and then they're jumping in a pool. It makes no sense. I'm like, kids will like this. Kids don't care if you say, oh, I'm painting $10 million home for my girlfriend, when it's just one wall in your home, Exactly. So I think his content is why it grows and why he has so many subscribers and why it does as well, is because kids watch it. That's my theory with it. But Jazza kind of talks about how it's guys, the channel I'm talking about, here, I'll put the link to the video I'm referencing in the chat. It's just this thing going on in the art community right now where it's it's because it used to be really big where people did tutorials.
Yeah.
And then it's like now everything is like kind of a vlog, highly edited. Like I'm doing this project, but I'm doing this one at the same time. And it's very, I don't know, jump cuts, and there's a lot going on.
Frenetic. Yeah, it's frenetic. That's the way you edit for children on YouTube. It's, you know, this, that, no attention span. You live in the digital age. You can't pay attention to anything for more than a minute. So
Exactly.
Yeah,
well, me and one of my friends were, but the channel that I'm talking about, it's called ZHC, Zach. He just spells it weird. So it's just the letter ZHC. You guys can go look at his channel if you see what I'm talking about. But so it's like I guess a thing in the art community, which I only found out about now, because it's like when I watch art YouTubers, it's because I found them and I like their style and I like the way that they do their videos. Like Slew is a really good one. He only has, I think, about 200,000 subscribers. So he's a smaller channel out of all the ones that I'm going to reference. But his channel is like vlog style. And so he's like, here's my new studio. This is the project I'm working on. And he likes the art of making videos. And he's very upfront about that. His thumbnails and titles are clickbaity. And they are kind of misleading sometimes. Like one of the ones that he just put out was like, I'm quitting YouTube to run an art studio. And it's like, sorry guys, this is why I haven't made a video in 2 months. I'm not quitting. And he does like a Q&A and he's just answering questions. So he does address it, but it's like, really, dude?
That's the thing. But my thing though, like because I remember when you know the rise of clickbait first started happening, and that was like, I don't know, probably the beginning of the end on YouTube, because you'd start to all of a sudden YouTube was filled with videos that had the juiciest headlines and the things you most wanted to learn about, and then you click on them and it was fucking nothing, and it was, you know, complete disappointment. And it was just like, it really didn't take that long to realize, like, okay, this seems like clickbait. I'm going to be able to figure out in the first 30 seconds of this video whether you're actually going to tell me the thing you promised or whether you're going to string me along for 12 minutes. And then I can click away and not waste 12 minutes of my life. But if I'm stupid enough to waste 12 minutes of my life, at the end of those 12 minutes, I don't get on YouTube and then to also make a video and complain about how people are making clickbait. I go, aha, you got me. That was on me. Good on you for getting me to watch this whole stupid thing for no fucking reason. It's like 17 Live, my platform now. Love streaming on there. Amy wins everything forever. She's some Japanese model. The times I popped into her streams, she's not even on there. She's like got just the you know, the whole a screen up, and sometimes you hear her. Sometimes she's not even freaking there, but she's just clearly is in a massive following. People love her. She's gorgeous. All this shit. So she just flicks on the stream, doesn't have to show up, and people just shower her with gifts, and she becomes the number one ranked streamer on 17 Live every month, and she wins all the events with the biggest prizes and all that stuff. And like, it sucks, but at the same time, it's like, rather than sitting here and being like, I hate this girl, ew, fuck her, I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna understand that somebody, like, I'm gonna learn from her. I'm gonna figure out what the hell she does to make everyone just give her things, and then two, I'm also gonna, like, it's actually been helpful to me because Livit 17 Live runs multiple events during a month where you can compete for prizes. And so I just look, okay, where is she competing? I ain't doing that. This is the anniversary month this month. I'm competing to be the top music performer. There's also a Queen of 17 Live category. I was like, Amy is going to win that category. I'm not even going to enter it. And lo and behold, day one, like, getting 1 million baby coins is a great metric for the month. She had 1 million on like the first day of the month. So
of course.
Like, I ain't fucking with that, you know. I'm doing great in my own right. I'm number 3 in the on the music side right now, and very, very excited. So, by the way, everyone, go check me out on 17 Live and support. It's awesome. It's super fun, and I am winning at everything there.
And guys, all of my mods have been kind enough and have been posting Jessi's link to 17 Live in the chat below. 17 Live, for you guys that don't know, it was Livit, then it changed to 17 Live. It is a streaming platform. Is it an app-based streaming platform?
It is app-based. However, I've just discovered you can now go live directly through the browser as well. But you can access it. You have to sign up through the app, but you can access it on your browser. You might be able to sign up now through the website, actually, now that they've done that. So it is primarily app-based, but you can watch and operate off your computer now too. And if anyone's interested in signing up to stream it, you can stream through your computer, and it's fully integrated with OBS as well.
Okay, cool.
It's becoming a big place for gamers as well as like musicians and
Well, yeah, well, this is actually goes along with it. It's like, okay, Twitch used to be a gaming thing, and then they had to make the just chatting for all of the thoughts. And so that's actually what kind of Jazza talks about in there. He's like, us as artists have had to change because art YouTube has become clickbaity for kids, which is like that don't have attention spans. And he's like, we can't just let's do a painting video. It's like, no, we have to do 10 million things within this painting thing and have all these people involved, and it has to be this big, massive grandeur. And it's that same thing happened with Twitch. It's like it was gaming, and then it became just chatting and hot tub streams and all that. So it's not as much as like he's trying to destroy this guy. He's not trying to take any viewership away. He's just trying to say, hey, this guy came in out of nowhere and kind of changed the way that art YouTubers have to do things because of the way that, he's kind of set the standard. So if it is kind of complimentary to him in that fact that one person was able to come in and change the art section of YouTube.
I mean, seriously.
But, look, people have had to leave Twitch, which is a gaming platform, because it's just become more of like a thought platform. And look, hearing that there's gamers moving over to 17 Live, it's because how are you supposed to compete with like giant boobs in your face writing names and like licking microphones?
Exactly. And now what you're seeing too, that's what we're seeing basically is we're seeing the mainstream trends have taken over independent live streaming as well. YouTube has been doing this now for the past several years. It's become very apparent to everybody now that they're moving away from giving independent creators their leash basically, and only promoting content that walks the walk, that talks the talk. Twitch did the same thing.
I have to pee. Do you want to actually bring up your IndieGoGo and share it, and you can talk about it because I'll run to the bathroom. You can scroll through, and then I'll come back. Why don't you share your screen so you can scroll through it, so I don't have it frozen.
Absolutely. Where is my
Bird up? Thank you for the super chat. I didn't really know what to expect with Alita Battle Angel, but I was pleasantly surprised with that movie. Same. Russell, thank you for the super chat. A cutting sword should be forward balanced, by the way. Thank you for the super chat. I will be right back.
I'll address that, and that'll be a perfect segue then. I'll be
right back. I'm gonna go pee.
Go fit. So that's not entirely true. No. So forward balance, though, the thing is balance. The way your blade is balanced and the way your blade is weighted are two completely different things. So you still want any blade with a tang. The optimal balance point is blade, and blade is the same weight as tang plus hilt. So exposed blade, tang. The tang is the part of the blade that goes inside the hilt. Tang and exposed blade should be the equal weight to that's technically perfect balance. And that does actually, if you've handled a blade that's weighted that way, my Princess Bride replica sword, perfectly balanced blade, by the way, fucking phenomenal. I love when that happens. Oh, I love when you get that level of like care and artistry in a prop. Now with a cutting blade though, it actually depends very much on the type of what you're trying to do with it. But typically you want it still perfectly balanced, but you want it forward weighted. You want a tip heavy blade that's going to allow you to get more force into a cutting motion by the end of it. Now, depending for sports and stuff, if you want to move faster, some people prefer more guard heavy even for the cut, because it'll make your cut faster overall. So if speed is your concern, you want it more guard weighted. And if power is your concern, then you do want it more forward weighted. But the balance point, the actual balance, when I say weighted, it's like the blade itself, the full weight is whatever it is, but it can be more evenly distributed, so your tip is still heavier in relation to this part of the blade. Or most, the blades taper, so depending on how much it tapers, this is much lighter. All right, sorry, I got sidetracked on that super chat a little bit, but anyway, Milestone Fencing Studio. I know stuff about swords. I'm starting a fencing studio. Here is the IndieGoGo for Milestone Fencing Studio, the club I'm starting in Pasadena, California. And it is exciting because not just will I be teaching the sport of fencing here, I will be using it as a launching point to produce a lot of content about fencing. I will also be using it as a giant multi-purpose performance space to produce content for mindless entertainment as well as hold live events for people. I've already offered it to Anna if she ever wants to use it as a gallery space or anything like that as well. So I'm coming into a large event space that can act as a hub for all of my various pursuits, as well as obviously teaching people how to fence. So this is awesome. This is exciting. It's been up for about a week now. So
we added some new goals. I am going to start putting out more details about our grand opening soon. If you guys are in travel distance of Los Angeles, mark your calendars for February 5th. That is our tentative date. It's going to be an awesome grand opening. The more we can raise, the more we're going to pump into it. But we're going to have like exclusive VIP seating. We're going to have celebrity guests. We're going to have a celebrity photo op. We're going to have demonstrations. It's going to be awesome. So if you're in travel distance, that right there is worth doing it. But once we hit 10,000, and then every 10,000 marker we hit, we'll add more. We're going to give away an exclusive t-shirt design at the grand opening. If we hit $50,000, everybody who's backed physical merch, so already getting something in the mail, will also get a sticker. And if we hit that 100K, which really will get us off to a great start, and I could even do things like offer relocation packages to my coaches who are planning on moving to Los Angeles from, in some cases, internationally. And that's a huge burden for them, but they are doing, they're willing to do that because they believe in this fencing club and what we're going to do with it. And so I'd like to be able to, help them do that. So you can read this fun little blurb, or you can watch basically the same information in this fun little video. If you want to learn more about fencing, Sun Fencing Studio has a YouTube channel now. You can watch a flagship video, Why Fencing, which is super exciting, I think, again. I actually did editing in it too. So the grand opening, you'll learn more. Yes, I've demonstrated that I'm more than just
Captain Picard. Captain Picard fences.
True story. Yeah, Sir Patrick Stewart, as well as most British actors, like classically trained British actors, have taken some amount of fencing. It must just be like in the sport elective at the Royal British Theatre Academy or whatever, because all those fuckers. Christopher Lee was a saber fencer, actually. And there's me. If you want to know all about my coaching resume, I forgot how cool it sounds when I actually write out my entire resume on paper. Because I've been tootling around doing a lot in the fencing world for a while now, but I started a little fencing empire in Southern Vermont, and I was just like, nah, I want to come to LA instead. But, did all that, trained with a bunch of different cool coaches, established myself as one of the top saber referees in the country. And we're joining forces with Saber Scream of Pasadena, which is a recreational program we're bringing into the fold. So I'm starting, with basically all we need from this campaign is the money to renovate the space. We've done everything else. We're a very surefire investment. If you want to put your money towards a business that is going to succeed and grow, we are a great investment because we already have a coaching staff. I already have a student with a national medal. So we already have successful students. We already have a location secured in a great area. We have so much going for us for this club already. All we literally need is, that little pit to get in there, tear down walls, put in floors, get equipment, and get going. And so now, of course, the exciting things, here are the perks that you get if you do back the club. So everybody, and we started at our $5 tier, but anybody who backs, you're going to throw your name on our founders banner, which is going to be hung up in the club proudly forever. And then we do have this $10 digital print. At the $10 tier, you will receive this digital print. This is me in doing an action that's called a flying lunge, flying through the air in a lunging format. And actually it's taken by a professional, this guy, Dennis Mamero, who does sport photography. And he does a lot of parkour photography too. He likes to do sporting in non-natural environment, it's outside of its normal environment. So he came out here a few years ago. He was out visiting LA and he wanted to do a fencing photo shoot. So that is a gorgeous print that you will get at that level. And at every subsequent level, we'll also get the digital print. Our $25 backers will get our button. $50 backers were put in on a beanie. And Jeff designed this logo for me because he's awesome and talented. $75 is the t-shirt. And if you want all of the swag, because these three are not cumulative tiers, our most popular featured tier right now, all of the swag, you get everything for the $100 tier. And I just want to remind you guys, some people who are used to seeing Comicsgate campaigns and stuff are like, oh my God, $75 for a t-shirt? This is not a campaign, a merchandising campaign or a selling campaign like so many of my friends have the privilege of doing. But it is a fundraiser. We are trying to essentially get seed money to start our business. And so we want to offer you guys these things as gifts to say thank you so much for helping us found this club. And for people who want the exciting things, You guys already know, Anna's met him a couple times. I'm friends with this wonderful actor, Isaac C. Singleton Jr. You've seen him in Pirates of the Caribbean, in Deadpool. He was in Anger Management. He was in a Transformers movie, turns out. One of the Planet of the Apes movies. He is the voice for all of Thanos' animated content for Marvel right now. And he will be in attendance at our grand opening, and he will be posing for action photos for anyone who backs at this tier. But if you're not local, if you're anywhere in the world and you'd like a personalized autograph from Isaac, you can back at this tier and that will be sent to you. We also have a tier for anybody who happens to be local or local-ish or think they might want to come and in the club and had a at some point. And if you'd like to become a premium founding member, not only we get a special section on our banner, as well as every single perk that came before it, but you will also get 50 free lessons that do not ever expire. So you can back at that tier and go, I think maybe I'll be in LA one day. Show up in LA and go, hey, Coach Jessi, can I book 3 lessons with you while I'm here for the week? And I will go, yes, absolutely. Your lessons never expire. Technically, they're 50. Each lesson is a half an hour unit. So you could just book like a day with me. And there you go. So that's the gist. That's the shtick. Like I said, Pasadena, California is where we will be located. As well as offering a litany of online knowledge regarding the sport of fencing, including tutorials, instruction, and information about how to find out more about fencing in your area as well. So there are, so there it is. Milestone Fencing Studio, my latest endeavor, my brick and mortar business that I'll be starting in 2022, in addition to all of my other digital and performance pursuits.
Well, that's awesome. And guys, there is a way, let's say you want to back, but the amount that you want to back for is not available in one of the tiers. If you click back it, there is a section on the top and it says make a contribution. And so let's say you want to donate a certain amount of money. That's how you can do it without having to back a perk. So that is, if you guys want to help Jessi out in this thing, but it's like maybe you say, oh, she doesn't have a tier high enough that I want to back at, let me put more,
Yes, exactly I actually did have that. I had a coach who is a Las Vegas coach, has one of his parents who's interested in backing, and so I received a message that said, hey, what would you offer a $10,000 backer? And I was like, think of a good answer, think of a really good answer that will make them want to back.
I would say, well, what are you looking for? My question would be like, well, what do you want?
Exactly. It's like, well, what do they want?
Lifetime lessons or something? Lifetime lessons.
Oh, yeah. But that is something I will gladly put out. Actually, I should put that right on the IndieGoGo too. If you would like to back at a higher amount and you are looking for a specific perk that is not offered on this page, feel free to just reach out and contact us. Our email is asyouwish@milestonefencingstudio.com because I like the Princess Bride. And feel free to request your own personalized perk if that's your bent.
There you go. So everyone go check it out. The link for this IndieGoGo is actually the pinned link in this chat stream. I wasn't able to add it in before we started this live stream into the description, but it will be added in after. So stay tuned for that. Now, I am actually going to go see the movie Dune with Peaches in IMAX because Jessi, Peaches had never seen Dune. So I was like, what do you mean you've never seen Dune? So I sat him down and I was like, all right, we're going to watch the 84 Dune. And so he watched it and he loved it. He's like, wow, this is really cool. And I'm like, yeah, you don't say. And then I tried to watch the mini series with him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even care if I have to buy it, but we have the Fire Stick on the TV. And so it's not available anywhere. You can't get it. And I was like, what the actual fuck? Because I wanted him to watch that before we went and saw the movie. But I was like, all right, you've seen one. So at least now when we go to the theater, you'll have kind of an understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, that's good. That's important. I read the book once upon a time. I know I saw the 84 like ages ago and I don't remember it very well. I'm fine with the movie, but I really, it's funny thing. It's weird because it's like I remember having like a really positive impression of the movie. I mean, like I like this action, I like this, whatever. And I read the book and I enjoyed the book. And the more I sat with the book though, the more it's just like, you know what is Dune's one of those properties for me where it's like I like it a lot and I really enjoy it, but I've always been surrounded by people who treat it like it's the gospel, and I don't find it to be that deep. If that makes sense. It's like
it's just a hero's journey. He's the chosen one. It's that I don't think it really, there are aspects of it where it's like, oh, let's get you, and you can do that with anything. I mean, there's people that look at Labyrinth that way.
Overall, though, like I just generally find, and that's, I mean, to be fair, like I went for Han Solo over Luke pretty early on too, but like I don't like Paul Atreides all that much. I'm way more into Duncan Idaho, but he's just a better character in my opinion. So,
wait, who?
Duncan Idaho.
Oh, Jason Momoa now.
Good casting choice in that. Although that's like, I can live with that. I can fucking live with that. That was the draw for me when that was actually the number one draw when I heard about the new movie was when they said that Jason Momoa was going to play Duncan Idaho. I was like,
well, my question is, it's like who. I haven't even looked at the IMDb. I've tried to like not really look too much into this new movie because I do actually want to be surprised.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been giving Timothy Claremont shit, and I'm like, he's actually, huh?
Chalamet.
Excuse me. Why am I thinking of Claremont? Where did I get that name from?
Okay,
he's actually a really good actor.
Yeah.
Like, everything I've seen him in, he's done a fantastic job, and I'm like, he's really talented.
I haven't watched Call Me by Your Name, but I heard he was great in it.
It's very uncomfortable for me, at least, but especially now thinking back.
Oh god, yeah,
like,
now with the cannibal.
Armie Hammer's gonna eat
everyone's
him.
favorite cannibal.
Run,
I don't give a
Timothy,
shit.
run. I think the biggest thing in that
Armie
is
Hammer can
that
nibble on my
obviously Armie Hammer is a full-grown man, and Timothy, how do you say his last name?
Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet is Chris Claremont is a Marvel artist. See, I keep getting
there you go.
My brain. He's like a teenager in that movie, and so it's like, all right, this is uncomfortable, but I mean, he's professional about it. He was on the Graham Norton show, and he talks, and he's like, yeah, the very first scene we shot is like their intense makeout scene, and he's like, yeah, they made us go for it, and then we stopped kissing and everyone was gone.
Oh god, that's like, did you ever hear the story about how they pulled that on Ewan McGregor and Jonathan
Yes.
Oh my god, Velvet Goldmine. They were banging on the other roof in the hot tub for like an hour.
And they all just took off.
And it was like straight up, because I guess it was like every take. It was every take. They're like, no, we need more. We need it to be organic. We need you. So this is the last one, and we're just going to let the cameras roll. And seriously, do not stop until we tell you to cut. We really just need a whole bunch of stuff of your intimacy and your this and your that. And so the way they had shot this scene, it was like rooftops. In order to get all this stuff, the cast of the crew was on the other rooftop set up to shoot them. And so they're doing it, they're into it, all the stuff, and then like literally a half an hour to an hour later, they look over, everyone had just fucking left.
Well, I was watching, Ewan McGregor was talking in this interview, and he's like, we were doing this, and he's like, I whispered to Christian, he's like,
oh yeah, sorry, it was Christian Bale, not Jonathan Rhys-Meyers.
Christian Bale. He's like,
Christian Bale
I think I would have come by now, and he's like, I think and Christian Bale's like, yeah, no shit, and
like
he's just like, yeah, he's like, I think I should have come by now. He's like, okay, I'm going to act like I'm going to come. And he said, we did that part. And then he's like, we look over and everyone's fucking gone.
I love it. It was like,
I was like, I'd be fucking pissed. But so.
I'd be so pissed.
I'm actually going to see 2 movies with Timothy this week. He's, do you like Wes Anderson movies?
I do, but I haven't watched enough of them yet.
Okay, well, I'm a really big fan of Wes Anderson movies. And so even if I don't like what he did with Fantastic Mr. Fox. What is it? Is it Moonrise Kingdom? The one with the kids?
I really want to see Moonrise Kingdom. That's the one I wanted to see. But you didn't
that
like
one, it's like, for me, I'm like, I watched it once. I never really need to watch it again. I liked the Royal Tenenbaums, and I know the one that people don't really like is actually my favorite one is oh my god, the one where they're on the fucking train. Chat, what is it called? Of course, I'm blanking on it when I'm talking on air. With the three brothers on the train looking for their mom. But he has a movie coming out this week, and this artist, actually, the artist that inspired me to do the Eye Project, his painting is the main character in this movie.
Oh.
Well, it's about, the whole movie is about this painting. And so the Timothy I'm gonna remember his name. God damn it. Okay, whatever. Timothy. I'm just gonna call him Timothy. He's gonna be a one name person. He's in the movie too, so I'm gonna see that as well. Oh yeah, the
Darjeeling Unlimited. Okay.
Yes, I like that one. But
I heard about
Greg
that
Kirby,
one.
thank you for the super chat. Oh, I didn't even read it. Back to the fencing. ... Smiley face.
Thank you. Thank you, Greg, for backing. I just refreshed it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. That's, oh my God, wait, a couple people backed it because it was at 22 before. Now we're at 25. So thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you, guys.
Guys, he said in an interview that his name is Timothy. He has said it. It's spelled differently because his mother is like what, French? He said no, it's Timothy.
Yeah, it's like Timothy or something. No,
well,
I was just.
He said in the interview, he's like, no, my name is Timothy.
It's pronounced Timothy, but it's spelled like it's like Timothy.
Yeah, it's spelled weird.
Yeah, no, we were just making fun of Timmy from South Park.
Oh, gotcha. But so yeah, my movie is at 7 in IMAX for Dune. So I'm gonna read super chats because me and Peaches are gonna leave and go get dinner. So I'm gonna read super chats and yeah, but before I read super chats, I'm gonna show this because I had a little bit of an announcement yesterday, which was I revealed a new character I'm gonna be cosplaying as in my calendar. So thank you so much, everyone. I didn't refresh it. I know we broke 27,000 today, which by the way, thank you so much, everyone. You guys are incredible. I'm ordering a lot of calendars.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
I did a video and I announced a character, which is Alita. I'm going to be Alita, hence the sword. There's the video out if you guys want to watch my transformation and me attempt to do anime girl makeup. I don't think it worked out very well.
I was so excited when I saw these pictures, by the way. I was like, oh my God, it looks so cool.
Thank you.
You do a great job. I mean, partly because you're so good and talented at makeup and stuff, but you do such a great job of like really transforming when you're doing these. Like you really go all in fully. The thing I really appreciate about it too, it's like you can see you're putting that extra level that people don't even understand to do, where like you're posing, you got the intensity, you have the look, like posing for a picture is like acting light. You still have to get into the character and get into the expression and get into the whatever. And it's not easy. Like people actually really, really undersell how hard it is to do a pose like this and have it not look completely retarded. So it's really impressive. Like you're not just getting the look, the attitude, you're getting like all of it. The energy is there too. It's really awesome.
Oh, thank you. I think it's like, it's hard to pose or pretend to be a character if you don't look like having the costume on is half of it, because then it's like, I'm not me anymore. I'm this other person. And so with Alita, because I like the character so much, it's easy. Like there are some characters that people are like, Anna, cosplay is this. I'm like, but I don't know anything about that character. I mean, I could put on the costume and do a pose, but it's not going to feel like it. Like I like this character. All the characters that I picked are characters that I like, that I know a decent amount about. It was kind of hard for me to like pose as Rogue because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, well, she's flying. And I'm like, I'm not flying. I'm like, how does she pose on the ground? I'm trying to think.
You always see her at the...
Well, it's like I'm thinking of her like flying and then like stealing the powers from someone. So I'm like, I need another thing here to touch. You know? But so this is, hey, instead of ruining my night by telling me this movie that I paid money for tickets to see it in a theater, you know, why don't you not be a Debbie Downer, considering I'm actually looking forward to this? But thank you for that. Maybe it's boring if you know nothing about Dune. I've heard from many people that it is good and exciting and that it leaves on a cliffhanger.
I won't tell Jeff that you're seeing it, though, because he will be a downer on you because he hates Dune. He hates the 84 movie. But...
Is what it is. No, it's like I was telling you about the somebody was like saying, oh, Joe Rogan and his stand-up comedy sucks. I'm like, thank you. When I'm talking about how excited I am to go and see, I'm traveling halfway across the country to go see Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle, and you're just chatting over and over again about how sucky his stand-up is. Like, thank you for that. I'm really excited about this trip.
So
it's
here's
like
that's...
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say it's that phrase, don't yuck my yum. And it's like, it's a very simple difference. Like yucking someone's yum versus still being able to have your own opinion. Coming in the chat and being like, I didn't enjoy Dune, but I hope you do. Cool.
That's
or I didn't enjoy
that's
Dune.
Nice. I appreciate that.
Fine. All of that's fine.
But when you say that, Dune sucks, Dune is boring, Dune blah, 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 when somebody else has made it clear that they don't feel the same, you're just yucking their yum. You're just trying to take their good time away. As I talk about in the YouTube sphere all the time, don't yuck other people's yum. If I want to come on my channel, I want to talk about how much I hate The Last Jedi 1,000 times forever until I fucking die. That is not me yucking anyone else's yum. Somebody else coming to my channel to harass me and be like, why do you keep making Last Jedi videos? Fuck you, blah, blah. That's them yucking my yum. If they like The Last Jedi and they make a zillion videos about how great it is, they get entitled to. They're not yucking my yum doing that over there. If I go over to them and I go tell them how much I hate their content and hate The Last Jedi and how stupid it is, I am yucking their yum. Case in point, you can believe whatever you want. You can love whatever you want, as long as you make it clear that you also accept the fact that other people are allowed to think and believe differently from you. That's all.
Exactly. But yeah. Yeah, people do that. Every time I talk about something I'm excited, people are like, oh, it's gonna suck, and I'm like, fuck you. Let me read these super chats because I did want to leave at 6, so now I have 6 minutes to do it. Ted comment, thank you about name one good comedian who has hair. Adam Sandler, Rob Schneider.
I have hair. I'm kidding. Yes.
I think they're talking about men though.
Mitch
They're not
Hedberg.
bald.
Mitch Hedberg's dead, but he was fucking phenomenal and he had a full head of hair.
Oh, there you go.
Richard Pryor, tons of hair.
I'm actually going to read these out of order. I'm going to read these backwards. That way I get all of them. But thank you so much, everyone. I need to read I'm sorry. Should have started earlier. Russell Hall, thank you for the super chat. Before you go, Anna, be sure to cut up a pair of your old underpants and mail half to Captain Shogun and half to J. Doll Hefner for science. No, I heard about that stream. I'm not going to watch it. And I saw comments of people saying that they were actually concerned. Night King 1, thank you for that. Dune is the opposite of a hero's journey in terms of the end goal. In fact, it's more of a critique of the typical Messiah trope, and it gets really dark. Paul, in the end, is not the hero of the story. Well, it depends on your interpretation of it, on if you think he's the hero or not, and it also depends on if you read all of the books or not. But thank you for the super chat.
Just real quick, I do think that's what makes people interested in Dune, though, because it does like deconstruct the hero's journey in certain ways. It leaves those questions, opens those questions. I think that's why people, fixate on it, because it gives you a lot to discuss, basically.
Exactly. Safe space trigger warning. That's Russell Hall. Russell Hall, thank you for that. I don't know how financially viable a fencing club will be, but you should ask the sword YouTuber channels like Shadiversity to help with the grift. Doc Holiday, thank you for the super chat. Is there a drinking club I can sign up for if I'm in the area? We can train my treat. Haha. Oh, that's a good one.
I'm just saying one of the last clubs I was affiliated with had kegerators in the coach's room. So
there you go. Nimble, thank you for the super chat. I'd rather swing a claymore, to be honest. Ian So Forth, thank you for the super chat. I'm also British. Perhaps I should take up a fencing and try to defeat Andy. Who's Andy? Shit, these things jumped on me. Let me find it again. John Thomas, thank you. Jessi, briefly describe a difference between sharp, ep, and foil. Oh my god, we don't have time. I'm sorry, guys. Jessi has Jessi has a channel. You guys can go ask her there. I'm sure she's going to be.
For you, though, I will make that. So I have my next video on Milestone Fencing Studio is going to be my first in the series of the secrets they'll kill me for. Very exciting. But for you, actually, it's a great next video. Within the next couple of weeks, I'll make that a Milestone Fencing Studio video. Is saber, epee, and foil in a nutshell. The 3 weapons in a nutshell, basically. Also, Hail Kelly, Jedi Bunny's in the chat. What's up?
Oh, what's up? Nice seeing you. Gunner, thank you for that. Foil Boils, welcome. I don't know what that is, but thank you for that. Annie McCallum, thank you for that. I'm British. Perhaps I should keep up fencing. Russell, thank you for that. The ideal balance on an application and a neutral POB makes a livelier blade and better tip control, but forward balance sword cuts better. Thank you for the super chat. Runs with Phantoms, thank you for the super chat. Here's a little toxic masculinity to challenge your matriarch. That was a funny way to spell that.
Thank you.
Bart the Blizzard, thank you for the super chat, even though you did not say anything. Thank you. Shane Keena, thank you for the super chat. When are you going to droll over a certain actor across the pond, Anna? I would love to see a modern take on The Nanny with him and you. Oh my god. Are you saying my voice sounds like my voice does sound pretty bad? If they want to remake The Nanny with me and Henry Cavill, I cannot act to save my life, but I don't think I would need to act.
Not for a movie like that. Come on. There's no acting. All you have to do is be in love with Henry Cavill.
Hi. You should wear brown contacts and speak with an American accent, because that's you should just build PCs. Well, people got mad at me that I didn't do a reaction to the Witcher trailer, and I'm like, you guys don't understand. Netflix are cunts when it comes to flagging channels. So yeah.
Oh my God.
I'll do it.
There's a Henry Cavill account now.
Oh, there's been one. I see him. Hello. Hello, Henry. Welcome back to my chat. Cold Haterade. Thank you so much. We need more Sickles and Eberts. God.
Sickles and
Macy
Eberts.
Van Dusen, thank you for the
Yeah.
super chat. I know about fencing. I know about how to build a fence. Diano, thank you for the super sticker, and it's a waving puppy. Thank you. 200 Watt Studio, thank you. Super chat. What do you think of the Jack Show for kids? Jack Jr. Hell no. Also, by the way, guys, I'm pretty sure Jack Show is going to be on my channel this week. John is out of town, and Kelsey is MIA, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be on mine then. Days of Clarity, thank you for the super chat. Sup, ladies? Good to hear so well-reasoned arguments. Keep fighting the woke-riarchy. Thank you for the super chat. Icon 809, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Anna, have you gave up Disney Star Wars, or do you still have hope for it to be better? The current projects, I actually have been getting kind of geeking out about I keep seeing all this fan art of Anakin and Ahsoka and like him as a Force ghost and her. And so I'm not gonna lie, the fan art has been really good. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of excited about it. And so, but I know it's gonna be shit. That's the only problem. So I do still have hope that it is gonna be good, but I don't trust the people in charge of it. Russell Hall, thank you for 2 super chats in a row. Cancel Jessi. We are not just as stupid, rabid, and dumb as wokies. Macy Van Dusen, thank you for that. Anna, I am very excited about your Alita cosplay going in the calendar. She is my favorite heroine from a manga and film. Oh, well, I'm happy you're excited. I was kind of worried because there's a lot of characters that people were like, Anna, can you do this character? And they're like, I want you to do this one. I want you to do this one. And it was none of the ones that I had. Kitty cat. So I'm glad that people like it. Swinging Cod, thank you for the super chat. I lose my junk. I am going to use CP registry to add the world by subtracting until Popo end it. I don't even know what that means. Rattle Shark, thank you for the super chat. With an original goal of 3K in their first charity drive, 3 YouTubers raised 42K for Sunrise Domestic Violence Shelter in Tampa. Okay, thank you for the super chat. Thomas Denham, thank you for the super chat. Japan is laughing at the U.S. manga over comics. Yes. John Thomas, thank you for the super chat. Not to be graphic, but a pre-Vagine, there was a device you pumped a third. What? What on earth are you talking about? Cars in depth, thank you for the super chat. The majority of married women would give up sex. Who are you
Probably
talking?
true, but that was what we were
What
talking
on
about.
earth? What are these super chats?
That's when we were talking about the whether or not AI is like whether or not the enhanced
I understand, but I mean, I know when it's coming from, but I don't even know what you guys are talking about anymore. Russell Hall, thank you for the super chat. It doesn't need to be full mass to get it in. Thank you for the super chat. June Watt Studio, thank you for the super chat. That t-shirt looks fine on you, fine girl. Thank you for the super chat. Gek812, thank you for the super chat. Anna, your Alita looked great. Timestamp 2405 really did look good. There's timestamps, better edited shot at those timestamps, watched on ×2 speed, fun. Thank you for the super chat. Annie McCallum, thank you for the super chat. Did the coach give her a Cosby cocktail? I think I read that one.
Yeah.
I read that one. I read that one. Read that one. Did I read all these?
I can't see them.
I
think we might have missed a few right at the beginning, but
yeah, okay. Andy McCallum, thank you for the super sticker. Shadow of Hawk 551, thank you for the super. And I hope your day is going good. Weird question. Do you want to see who do you want to see from Clone Wars show up in Book of Boba Fett? Well, the character that I like died in the Clone Wars, but if they had some kind of reference or some kind of flashback towards him, that would be cool. I doubt that they will, but and now I'm thinking of characters that would still be alive after Order 66. So I will think about that longer and get back to you. And I think there was a couple more that came in, so let me just refresh.
I'm thinking about how little I know about this upcoming Book of Boba Fett, how little Star Wars news I'm reading. I'm like, this is just like me after the sequels happened or the prequels happened. And I was just like, okay, Star Wars, whatever. I like the movies and this and that, and like chose what I didn't engage with Star Wars. And now I'm kind of back there. I'm like, you know what? This just isn't the Star Wars that I engage with, and I don't care. I got my original movies. I can just care about that and not give a shit. And like, I feel like this nice internal reset, Fuck Disney Star Wars. I just don't need to think about it anymore. It's nice.
There you go. All right. The Count 209 thing was about, hey, can you check my costume on Instagram? I made it myself and was super proud. LOL. I was Django Fett. Leave a comment on the stream after it's off air of what your username is, so that way I can look at it, because I don't know what your Instagram is. Night King, thank you for the super chat. Dune is a visual masterpiece. It's great. Every shot is like a painting. IMAX is the only way. Thank you. Peach was giving me shit. He's like, let's just go watch this with the recliner. I'm like, no, I need to see it in IMAX.
I did have a friend who said, if you pick one movie to go see in a theater, of the crop that's out right now, pick Dune. So.
Okay. Gareth Sherman, they used to be curious if you ever watched Babylon 5. Yes, a long, long time ago. I don't really remember it. Jesse,
I love Babylon 5.
I really have to go, guys. I needed to go 10 minutes ago. But thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you so much for watching. The links for everything is in the description of this video. And Jesse, say bye to everyone. Go back her campaign. Go back Jesse's campaign. Go back mine campaign. Thank you, everyone, for 27K. And Jesse, say bye.
Bye.
Say bye. I'm Indy.